We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea and a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea and a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. Come to the light.
Hello, we
Hello.
are back with episode 36.
36. 36 in the
Already.
mix.
I like that. I'm
Mhm.
Chelsea Bodie.
And I'm Xandra Bright, and I'm glad you here hanging out with us again tonight.
And before we even get into it, I want to say we got a few announcements.
Yes, we do. Let's see what's going on in the
So
community.
let's talk about our announcements really quick here.
Okay.
We've got Saturday, February 21st. Too Deep at Mary's Place, and that's an event by Mary's Place,
Hmm.
and that is 602 North Madison Street in Rockford, actually. So it's not Freeport, you guys, it's in Rockford.
Oh, okay. In Rockford.
Yep, and it says what to expect is Rockford's premier funk soul band. Too Deep is back at Mary's Place on Saturday, February 21st,
Mm-hmm.
and Mary's is the oldest bar in Rockford. And it's home
Okay.
to some of the best live music in the Rockford area.
And our favorite band, The Real Deal, is from Rockford.
Yes, and we've also, speaking of the real deal, they are having an event January 23rd at 9 p.m. The cafe stage, they said, join us for an after party following Martin Lawrence on the big stage at 7801 East State Street, Rockford, Illinois.
Okay.
And the real deal is going to be at the Hard Rock Casino.
Yeah, that's where they're gonna be. Martin Lawrence,
Hmm.
I guess, is gonna be on one of the stages, and then they'll have their show after that. So, if you guys go on, you can get two shows in one. Check out Martin Lawrence, then go on over and check out The Real Deal.
Hmm.
Don't put all your money in the machines. Go have some fun. Have some fun. All right.
All right, and next we have January 24th,
Okay.
an event by Emmanuel Lutheran,
Mm-hmm.
1964 West Pearl City Road in Freeport. It's Pancake and Sausage Day, starts
Mm.
at 8 a.m. and it goes all the way till 1 p.m.
And the pancakes and sausage, they're very good. I've been there before for one of their breakfasts, and
Yeah, that reminds me
they're
of,
they're very good. And
yeah,
you
good
feel,
times with family. I've gone there with my
yeah,
grandma before.
don't fill up and go back home and go to bed.
All right, and next we have Parents Night Out.
Oh,
It's an
okay.
event by the Family YMCA,
Mm-hmm.
and that is at 2998 West Pearl City Road in Freeport. And they have said it's a drop off your children ages 2 and beyond to the YMCA. $10 per child includes dinner, games, prizes, and so much fun.
That's very reasonable.
And it's
So,
from 5:30 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. So,
wow, 4 hours and you pay
mhm.
$10 for childcare. Can't beat that. And you can drop your child off, it says.
Yep, they've said what to expect. Parents, you deserve a break, and your kids deserve a night of fun. For just $10 a
Mm.
child, you get 4 full hours of kid free time to enjoy a date night, run errands, relax at home, or take advantage of our exclusive community meal specials offered that evening. While you
Oh,
recharge, your kids will be having an amazing time with dinner, snacks, games, prizes, arts and crafts activities, and so much more.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we have annual Phantoms Bowling Night, and that is at the Four Seasons Bowling Center at 1100 West Galena Avenue in Freeport.
Mm.
What to expect? They said join us for the annual Phantoms Bowling Night and help support the 2025 season.
Mm.
Okay,
What is
I don't know
it?
why it says 2025 season.
They did a misprint.
Yeah, maybe
Gotta
they meant
be.
2026 season.
Yeah.
Cost is $50 for two-person teams and includes shoes and 3 games.
Okay.
Okay. And we have the first annual Lincoln Mall Future Leaders Kids Market. And that is an event by Vince Brooks. And it's going to be at the Lincoln Mall, 1255 West Galena Avenue, Freeport, Illinois. And it's going to be February 28th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. What to expect is a new event coming soon to the Lincoln Mall. They're excited to announce the first annual Future Leaders Kids Market, a fun, family friendly event celebrating the young entrepreneurs and kids focused businesses, services in our community.
Hmm.
So definitely want to sign up for that. If you know any kids that make things, crafts, things like that, art, anything, definitely want to get them involved because it's something for them to do and try and make some money. I think it'd be great. All right, and next we have Voices of Stevenson County. About Us, Voices works to prevent and reduce the stigma of domestic and sexual violence in Stevenson County. We believe survivors validate their feelings and support their decisions. All services are free and confidential.
Okay.
Yep, and you can contact them at their office, 815-235-9421. Do you want me to read all of this? Because they've
No.
got a whole lot on this flyer here.
No.
So, I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
that was enough. You
Yeah, I
read
think
there.
that was pretty
And
much the
Voices is
summary.
in Lincoln Mall. They're one of
Yeah,
the.
they do have a book nook in the Lincoln Mall.
They do. They have a book nook. If you guys haven't been out there before, go out and check out the Lincoln Mall. All right. All right. So a few things going on anyway around town. That's
Mhm.
good.
Lots of things coming up.
Yeah, I try to keep them, 1 to 2 months of announcements because otherwise, we get so far ahead and it's hard to keep up and people are not
Mhm.
going to remember 'em if we don't keep reminding them over and over. So it's kind of hard. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So, I want to say that this is going to be a different kind of episode. Usually, we are talking about more fun topics or we're interviewing a guest or something like that. But tonight, we need to slow down and have a real conversation.
Hmm. Yeah, the energy is definitely different tonight. This is not one of those episodes that you just have listened to. You got to listen to the whole episode and you got to participate.
Yeah, and this topic actually came from a conversation that I had with my dad.
Hmm.
Yeah, we were talking about life, success, and people around you. And he said something that really stuck with me. He said that jealousy is dangerous.
Yes. Yes. Very dangerous. Not annoying. Not childish, but dangerous. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, because when we usually think about jealousy, we think
Hmm.
about haters in the comments, or like someone wanting your shoes or your car or your
Yeah.
lifestyle. We think it's something petty. But my dad's point was that jealousy isn't just petty, it can be lethal.
Yeah, we usually don't think of emotions as weapons, but jealousy absolutely is a weapon.
Yep. And I just wanted to bring up a couple comments we had really
Okay,
quick.
good. We got comments already.
Chris,
Hi, nephew.
Chris Donovan says my favorite
Yes.
podcast.
Hey, baby.
And Chris Donovan says, looking forward to the discussion on envy.
Yes, yes, yes. But we're talking about jealousy. We got to get into let you know that's two different things I read. Envy is one thing and jealousy is something else. All right.
Hmm.
Thank you, nephew, for always being here with your support and tuning in and keeping help to keep us going. All
Yes.
right.
So back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Anger, anger is loud,
Yes.
anger explodes, and jealousy is quiet. It watches, it waits, it studies,
And it keeps score.
and that's why it's dangerous.
Mm.
So, tonight
Mm-hmm.
we're going to look at two stories that prove that jealousy isn't just ugly, it's deadly.
Yes.
Two legends who weren't taken out by strangers, but by people close to them. We're talking about Nipsey Hussle, and we're talking about Selena Quintanilla Perez.
And both of them were at the top of their game.
And both of them were killed by envy. Not robberies gone wrong, not not random violence. This was targeted and it was personal.
The proximity is the scary part, you know. You expect hate from the outside the house, but not inside.
And before we go any deeper, chat, we want to hear from you. Do you think jealousy is the most dangerous emotion? Or is it anger, ego, fear?
What is jealousy to you? You guys, you think jealousy is anger? Is it just somebody's ego? Is it fear?
Ego is definitely part of it, but I think jealousy is the root. Anger burns hot and burns out,
Mm-hmm.
and jealousy stays cold, and cold things last.
Yes.
So let's start with Nipsey.
Okay.
It's been years since March 2019, but it still feels fresh.
It really does.
And I think the reason it hurts so much is because of what he was doing at the time. Nipsey Hussle, Ermias Ashgadon, wasn't just rapping, he was building.
And ownership was his whole message.
Literally. He bought the strip mall on Slauson and Crenshaw, the same corner he used to hustle on. He opened the Marathon clothing store, but it wasn't just about clothes.
He had the STEM Center too.
Vector 90, a co working space, a learning center,
Mhm.
teaching kids from the neighborhood coding, math, and technology. He was trying to bridge the gap between the hood and Silicon Valley.
But he didn't have to leave to do it, though.
And that's the key. He could have moved to Calabasas, he could have
Mhm.
hired security, he could have disappeared, but he stayed accessible.
And accessibility, it can be dangerous. It can be dangerous.
Yeah, on the day he died, Nipsey didn't have heavy security. He was just at his store helping a friend who had just gotten out of jail get some fresh gear. He was just being a good friend.
And then Eric Holder showed up.
This is the part we really need to sit with. Eric Holder wasn't a stranger. He knew Nipsey. Same neighborhood, same gang affiliation, the Rolling 60s,
Mhm. He was a rapper too.
but he never made it.
Crabs in the bucket.
Let's really explain that. If you put one crab in a bucket, it
Mhm.
can crawl out. But if you put multiple crabs in there, the moment one tries to escape, the others grab its legs and pull it back down.
And that's because if one crab gets out, it proves the others could have too.
Nipsey was the crab on the rim of the bucket. Eric Holder was still at the bottom looking up. Instead of asking, "How did you get there?" he asked, "Why you?"
That resentment builds quietly.
Witnesses say Holder walked up to Nipsey and Nipsey told him, "The streets are saying you're snitching. You need to handle that."
Wow. He was looking out for him.
Exactly. That wasn't disrespect, that was advice. But Holder's ego couldn't take it. He left, got a gun, came back, and shot him
Over a conversation.
over a bruised ego. We got a couple comments coming in
Okay.
from the chat. So,
Wow, this is deep.
Chris Donovan says, hidden jealousy is super, super dangerous.
Yes.
And Vince Brooks says, jealousy could be the most dangerous emotion because it's a gateway into several other emotions that can cause a domino effect.
That's true. It's like that weapon they talk about. Jealousy is a weapon. It can be hidden, it can be right out front, but it can be a weapon.
Chris Donovan says, people will pretend to love you and secretly despise you.
Yes.
Heartbreaking behavior. Mm. Chris Donovan said, R.I.P. Knit.
Yes.
And Vince Brooks says, oftentimes jealousy is driven by someone doing something that other can't do or have been procrastinating on, and you're taking action while they have been inactive.
I agree with that. Yes. Like you said, over a bruised ego.
Yeah, and have you ever felt someone get weird when you started doing better than them?
Yeah.
I know the chat is already saying something
Mhm.
about Dr. CB.
Everybody said the government took him out.
And the theory was that because Nipsey was working on a documentary about Dr. CB, Big Pharma or the government had him killed.
Oh boy, it feels easier to believe that.
Because if the government killed
Mm.
him, then his death has a villain, it has meaning. But the truth is often harder.
And sometimes the villain isn't powerful.
Sometimes the villain is jealous.
Yes, jealous. Okay. We can do
Okay.
this little poll.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Okay. So yeah, type 1 if you believe it the conspiracy and type 2 if you believe it was jealousy and access.
So either type 1 or 2. Type 1 if you believe this was a conspiracy. Type 2 if you believe this was jealousy and access.
And Vince says, yes, all of the time. If you want to see people get weird or jealous, just start a business.
You don't want to do that. You feel like, what do you think you're doing? People will make you feel like that. Who do you think you are? It's the feeling they try to portray. But yeah,
Vince Brooks says 2.
number 2. Okay, yeah. It's jealousy and access. He had access to him, and yes, he was jealous. I believe that too,
Mm-hmm.
because they mentioned that,
Mm-hmm.
that he was jealous, and jealousy can be strong, and it can be a weapon, or it can cause you to use a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you, Vince.
Chris says 2 for sure.
Yes, yes, too. It had to be jealousy. Some people, instead of trying to lift you up and you're doing something, they will try to tear you down. They will. Very good.
And now,
We're going to go on to segment 2.
yeah, I don't see
Any more
any
comments
more comments. So
regarding our first story?
yeah, does anyone want to say anything else regarding Nipsey before we move on? We do have some other questions here too. We wanted to ask you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Is jealousy a red flag or just human?
Hmm. And it's kind of broad to say it's a red flag, because I would have to say it all depends what was the situation and to what extent was it taken.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't want to say, oh, that's just human, because everybody don't go through that, and we're
Mm-hmm.
all human. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody don't experience jealousy. So that's a tough one. What do you guys think? And I'm glad I don't have to answer that. I did the best I could, but this poll is for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all yours.
Okay, so Vince says it's a red flag with alarms on it.
Hmm. With alarms on it, you see somebody being jealous. To what extent would it be a red flag, Vince? And would they have to be destroying stuff, or because sometimes people can get jealous and act a complete fool, Would it be to that extent, or would they be more private and just interfering, disturbing your peace? I like to say,
Mm-hmm.
because if people are jealous and they're around you, they will try to disturb your peace. Because they always have negative vibes going at you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not aware all the time. Sometimes you can pick up on a person though, and you can say, "Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
you're not for me. I know that." So I have to be kind, because we also have to be kind to everybody, but I don't have to keep you in my inner circle, because you won't help me grow, because you're going to always be jealous, and you're going to be happy
Mm-hmm.
when, something good happened, when if something bad happened for me, or to me, it's going to be all right with you.
Right.
So, yeah.
And Xandra, do you think social media has made jealousy worse? Because back in the day, you
Mm,
didn't know what everyone was doing every single second, but now it's in your face.
yeah, and that's just it, Chels, because now it's in your face. With social media, everything is right there in your face, and people are getting on there a lot of times, and they're blinging and they're showing what they have, and they're showing the lifestyle that they're living, and they're doing this or that, or relationships or whatever. It's just out there. It's more in your face. Before social media came along,
Mm-hmm.
everything was kind of hidden. People don't mind sharing. They tell you their whole life story,
Mm-hmm.
on that. So, yeah, I think it plays a part, but I think it all depends on the person mostly. I can't blame social media for that, because jealousy, that's a human feeling and stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. And Vince says people at the bottom of the barrel are predominantly the jealous ones. It could be hatred, quietness, or just always being evil towards the person.
Like that crab trying to get out, and the person at the bottom kept pulling them back down. Wouldn't let that crab get on and be free. Yeah, we need to lift people up
Mm-hmm.
instead of tearing them down. And you'll be
Mm-hmm.
surprised at the good things that happen to you and for you. We have no reason to be jealous if our brothers and sisters are doing good. To me, that's the dumbest. And there's so much dumb stuff going on in the world now that I don't understand, and I'm not meant or built to understand it. I don't have intelligence to understand everything. But to me, I've never had a problem with giving people praise. I never have a problem with, even telling a lady, hey, that looked nice on you,
Mm-hmm.
or that color looks nice. And some
Mm-hmm.
women can't even do that to other women. They rather look at you and hate, oh, she thinks she looking, what's
Mm-hmm.
that about?
Mm-hmm.
We need to learn to build each other up more instead of tearing each other down, because that makes you look bad. That don't make that person look bad. People are looking at you because of your behavior. Yes.
Yeah, and Chris says, this is a great topic. I always found it odd that people will rather hate and be envious rather than to work harder on themselves to achieve their goals.
That's right. And Chess, I had read this little test that says how to find out if someone is uh, jealous of you,
Mm-hmm.
or really, to find out that they're feeling differently about you than you think. They say get around them and talk about your accomplishments. Talk about, what's going on good, and, good things like that. And then look at the expression on their face,
Mm-hmm.
right away. If their back is turned towards you, whatever, hurry and look at the expression on their face. It's not, they said, you won't rarely find expression with a smile or anything happy. you'll find like you did something personally to the person, or the person is looking upset, or they're looking like you're bothering them, and you can tell a person about your accomplishments, or even not that, just something good going on in life, period. And they won't even give you a response one way or the other. I mean, hello,
Wow.
are you breathing? Say something, blink twice, but people do that because, and I think that's because they have a lot of envy and jealousy and hatred in their heart for no reason. No reason.
Yeah, and you think you can ever be friends again with someone who was jealous of you, or is that bridge just burned forever?
No, I can be friends with someone that is jealous of me. I can continue to be friends with someone and know that they're jealous of you, or feel that they're jealous of you, or something been proven. Yeah, you can do that. That don't change you as a person. And if you respond and you don't respond in the right way to that, you're the one that's going to pay for that in the end.
Mm,
Sometimes the best thing to do is not respond to stuff, especially if you know the type of person you are. You don't have to convince nobody otherwise. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You spend your life trying to, but I'm really like this. What for what?
yeah, that's true. And Frankie says, "Good evening."
Hi,
Good
Frankie.
evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Any more comments before we go on to segment two, our next story?
I don't know, but I had another question.
You did?
Yeah, why do you think strangers support us more than our own family sometimes? Is it because strangers don't feel like they're in competition with us?
Yes, I believe that's part of it. Strangers, what I want to say, they have no investment. So, what, for lack of a better word, they really have no investment. They'll see you and probably will never see you again. So, for them to have time and be jealous and go through all that stuff, that people who are around you all the time, like your family and friends, strangers, they will support you more.
Mm-hmm.
They will support you and keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to even like you. Sometimes people won't support you unless they have to first like you.
Mm.
I mean, you could be making gold out of cotton and giving it to them free. They still not gonna, but that's okay. It took a while, but I found that that's okay, because Cat Williams, who I respect as a comedian, yes, I do, taught me a long time ago. Everybody need haters. Everybody. It's required in life, or you're doing absolutely nothing. Nobody's caring about you, nobody's paying no attention to you. He even had it broke down, or how many haters you need to acquire each month to let you know that you're still relevant, you're still doing something good. Because face it, nobody's going to talk about you if you're not doing anything. Why would they? What would they say about you? Oh, how was Andrew doing? Nothing. Conversation over.
Yep, and Frankie says, jealousy is the worst spirit alive. It's sad.
That's when they say green eye monster. Yeah, green eye, green horns, red horns, all of that. It's just, it's just, it don't do anybody any good, because feelings, regardless if people believe it or not, your emotion, your feelings have a great effect on how you feeling physically. There is a connection. You guys do know that. So if you're going around and you're always disgruntled and you're always carrying jealousy and all this toxic stuff in you, You ain't walking around with a big happy grin on your face and feeling all good and stuff. It would be hard for you to do so.
Mhm.
Your blood pressure up high for what? Because you're jealous of what somebody else is doing. We're not supposed to all be on the same level. Let that soak in.
And my dad gave me this topic. Do you think we do a good enough job teaching our kids not to be jealous? Or do we teach them to compare themselves to other people?
I don't think we do a good enough job teaching kids about what jealousy is and how unnecessary it is, and showing them how fortunate and how blessed they are. And if we do more of that to show our kids, how fortunate, how blessed they are compared to this child and compared to other things that's going on in the world, they wouldn't be thinking jealousy. Jealousy for what? And jealousy a lot of times come from materialistic stuff.
Hmm.
And that's just the mindset of some people, is materialistic and some people are not. So
Yeah, and so we talked about ignoring red flags. Why do we always try to talk ourselves out of our gut feelings? Why is it our first instinct to say, "Oh, I'm just tripping," when we know you aren't?
because sometimes the situation is unbelievable. um you think you talk yourself, it's easy to talk yourself out of stuff you don't understand. So to convince yourself you're sane, you know it's
Hmm.
just a defense, I believe, that we have.
Yeah, and Nipsey's killer was a childhood friend. Like,
He
do
was? Oh,
yeah, so
wow.
do you think that we hold on to our day one friends too long just because of history? Like, do we keep people around just because we knew them in the third grade, even if they're toxic now?
No, I don't think people would really keep people around if they become toxic. I don't care if you were so sweet in third grade, everybody liked you, and now nobody can stand you. I mean, I don't think that people will keep people around just because they knew them for a long time. People have that strength where they know how to get people to act, and they've
Hmm.
proven it over and over. But some relationships, when you think about relationships, some relationships are like that, just from habit form. But no, I think people do keep people around because they want them around.
Hmm.
If they don't want them around, they will find a way. You have those people to say, "No, I'm gonna stay around you forever. I'm not going anywhere." Oh, yes, you are. I can make you go.
Right.
You may feel that way, but you gonna go, because everybody has the right to have people around them who have their best interest at heart. And once you find out and have that gut feeling, you can't ignore your gut. Is
Right.
there, you can't, that's your whole system. If you think about your gut, that's your intestines and everything that's in there that you need to process everything internally. You can't, when you get certain feelings, you can't just dismiss them.
Hmm. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, you can't. Okay.
So now we have to talk about Selena.
Oh, yeah. Our segment two, Selena. Selena. This one is chilling.
Selena Quintanilla Perez, only 23 years old. She was the queen of Tejano music, and she was on the verge of a global crossover success.
Wow, she was unstoppable.
and she was killed by Yolanda Saldivar.
The president of her fan club. Let that sink in.
Wow. And Yolanda didn't just work for her, she was obsessed with her.
Hmm.
She pushed her way into Selena's life, started the fan club, got close to the family, and eventually she managed Selena's boutiques.
Wow. She had access to everything. Everything.
And then money started going missing.
Uh-oh.
Fans complained, and Selena's dad investigated. Over $30,000 stolen
And Selena kept talking to her even after that happened.
because Selena was kind, trusting, young, and she agreed to meet Yolanda alone at a Days Inn motel.
And you know what? That decision right there cost her life.
Have you ever ignored a red flag because you didn't want to hurt someone's feelings, you guys? Because
Me personally, no. If I get a red flag, I don't care about your feelings because I'm getting a red flag to protect my feelings, and I've learned to trust my feelings and to trust me. So I wouldn't ignore the red flag. Not now in this time. Maybe earlier in my life I ignored red flags, but right now I'll be looking for them. Why is that flag red? Nope. But no, just to satisfy somebody, and no. Mm-mm.
yeah, so back to the
Mm-hmm.
situation with Selena.
Yeah.
They argued. Yolanda lied. Selena tried to help.
Mm-hmm.
Then Selena turned to leave and Yolanda shot her in the back.
And she didn't run.
She sat in her truck for 9 hours, crying, talking, making it about herself. That's narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
And the detail that always breaks me, Selena was wearing a ring Yolanda gave her when she died.
Wow. Wow. That's the everyday jealousy and red flags. Let's go back to red flags.
Yeah, and that brings me to one of my other questions. We
Mm-hmm.
always say move in silence, but be honest, how hard is it to keep your mouth shut when something amazing happens?
It's hard.
Like, does it not feel like it's almost painful not to tell somebody?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. I can speak on that. It's hard, when you have some good news to share, and it's a shame that we have to feel that way sometimes, that you can't share it. You have to hold it until that time. And I'm a strong believer now in moving in silence.
Mhm.
I firmly believe that.
Mhm.
Certain things, now there are some things you can't move in silence on, but I firmly believe that there's something that you hold dear to your heart, and something that you need to work out. You need not to have the interruptions from all around and everything, and you need to make your own decisions and move forward. I think it's okay to move in silence. I mean, you're doing something. You're just not ready to share. And you want to
Mhm.
make sure that when that time comes, you are able to share, but you want to have something to share. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it's okay to move in silence. And yeah.
Okay. And if you have to cut off a jealous friend, do you mourn the friendship or is it just a relief? Because honestly, cutting off a friend sometimes hurts worse than
Yeah, more
breaking
in the
up.
relationship, the friendship, I would, because, regardless of them being jealous or whatever, I wasn't jealous of that person. So I still considered that person a friend.
Hmm.
It's just that they had these traits and everything, and that will destroy things. How can you, you
Hmm.
know, continue on, and especially if not just guess.
Right.
It's been proven, not just going off for just a feeling all the time, but those gut feelings are very important. So,
Yeah, and do you think you can physically see jealousy in someone's eyes? Like, have you ever looked at a picture of you and a friend and you see the way they're looking at you and it like creeps you out?
that goes back to that thing I was saying, that test that the guy had put online was saying how to look back at somebody real quick to see their expression when you talk about something good, and then they'll try to change real quick. Uh, there can be situations that you can look at a person and they looking like you just putting something bitter in
Hmm.
their mouth, and
Hmm.
you're just feeding them something sour, because that news, although it's sweet to your ears, a jealous person, it wouldn't be sweet to theirs.
Right.
And they're gonna show it in their expression. You can only hide so much. It's gonna come out. And a lot of times our expression to give us away, and we don't even realize we're doing stuff. What they call it, mean mugging.
Yeah, I mean,
Mean mugging. And like, it wasn't mean mugging, it was, yeah, that was part of it.
okay, so this brings me to another question.
Mm-hmm.
They say no good deed goes unpunished, and in Nipsey's situation, he was helping a friend, Eric Holder, and Selena gave Yolanda a job. So, do you think helping people actually makes them resent you sometimes? Like they hate needing your help?
Maybe in a select few, not in everyone, I don't believe. Uh, I like to believe in people that, hey, if they really need your help, they need your help, and they're not thinking, oh God, I got to get your help, and I really hate that I have to get anything from you. Even though we see a lot of stories like that on TV, I don't
Mhm.
believe it happens that often,
Mhm.
because I think what happens is people don't want to get your help. If they feel in some kind of way about you, they just won't. They won't.
Mhm.
They won't. They would rather sit out there and starve than to go to certain people.
Mhm.
So I think, for that reason, they wouldn't, go on like nothing's happening.
Okay. And what do you think is worse? A friend who criticizes you to your face, or a friend who just stays silent when you win? Because sometimes the silence is louder than the hate.
You said friend that criticizes you to your face, which is better, you say?
Which is worse? A
Uh,
friend who criticizes you to your face, or a friend who just stays silent when you win?
a friend that just stays silent. The criticism, if they telling you to your face and not criticizing you behind your back, because that's a whole new ball game. But if they're telling you to your face, they're really concerned about you,
Mhm.
and it doesn't necessarily mean they're right,
Mhm.
but in their mind, they're concerned enough to talk to you about it. And we have to be prepared that people's not gonna all the time just have all good stuff to say to us.
Right. And a tipsy auntie says that's facts.
Hmm.
They either love you or resent you. It happens. I've had it happen with family members. Shaking my head.
Yes, that's right. And there's no middle ground on that.
Yep. Vince Brooks says someone who says Someone who says signing to me is worse. What?
Being silent
Oh.
probably to him is work. Yeah. I think someone being silent and when they should speak up is worse because they're having thoughts going on, believe me, in their head. They're just not telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's most of the time because it's not good.
Yeah, and let's talk about entitlement. Yolanda
Mm,
felt entitled to that money.
she did.
Do you think jealous people feel like they deserve your stuff just because they're around you? Like they think, I helped you get there, so this is mine?
No, I think that mostly comes from an insane person thinking that because if they haven't helped you get there, for them to think this is mine,
Mm-hmm.
then that something's wrong with them. It doesn't make it true. But people have those thoughts, and my thought on it is everybody's made different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't have straight clear thoughts on stuff. I have sometimes I have to question myself. I'm like, where did that come from, Sandra? You know, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm glad nobody else is around. But you know, we I think a lot of times we don't give ourselves enough credit or we
Mm-hmm.
just fall in that follow the crowd type. We get in a little group and we get to follow along with the
Right,
group. If somebody's not digging on you, then the whole group ain't dig. That's not supposed to like you and all that. And to me,
right.
that's nonsense. I left grammar school a long time ago, and I don't dabble in those type of behaviors. And when I just find out that people is toxic, I mean, when you find out, you'll know. You touched on that. Talk about your gut feeling
Mm-hmm.
when you find out for sure, and people will show you, just open your eyes and listen.
Mm-hmm.
They will show you exactly who they are because they can't hide it. Then get rid of them. That's it. That's all.
Oh, this is Andrea from The Real Deal. Hey, y'all.
Hey there. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for
Yes, thank
tuning
you. We were
in.
just announcing you guys are going to be at the
Yes,
Hard
on
Rock.
23rd, the
Yep.
Hard Rock. Yes, one of the real deal members in here saying hi. Be at the Hard Rock. That's a hard working band, I tell
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yes,
They
they
stay
are.
busy, 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 busy.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, we just sitting here talking about that old jealousy and that devil just sticks his wicked head out and just in all fields of life, all situations.
Mm-hmm. And Vince Brooks says they definitely have a sense of entitlement out of nowhere. People will not support you because they don't see your vision and don't think you will succeed. As soon as you succeed, the congratulations is super loud and everyone thinks they deserve a piece of the pie.
Yeah. Or they're silent and they'll disappear on you and they won't be part of that congratulations at all because they have jealousy in their heart. They're not there for you, and people won't support you because they're afraid you might have a one up, so to speak, on them. You might
Mm-hmm.
have something a little bit more than they have. So they won't, nope, this might just help them, so I'm not going to do it.
Andrea said, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We appreciate you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And most jealousy doesn't end in murder, but it still destroys lives.
Yeah, friendships, businesses, confidence, it still destroys lives, even if it don't end in murder.
Backhanded compliments.
Mm-hmm.
Red flag number two, copycats.
Copycats.
Red flag number three, the devil's advocate.
Mm-mm-mm. Wow. And all those red flags are true that, that's showing, that somebody's really truly not for you or jealous or something. I'm not one for those backhanded compliments and stuff, and talking about copycats. Okay, my idea, my thoughts on that is use your own brain, and the
Mhm.
devil's advocate. No, yeah, went through that too. So there are, and there's so many more red flags out there,
Mhm.
and they would teach us. So looks like we got another story time coming up.
Tell us about a time you realized someone close to you was jealous.
Mm,
My dad always told me to move in silence and don't
mhm.
announce the move until it's done.
Yeah, and like I was telling you, I agree with that because sometimes you get burnt by, you don't look at it as bragging, but sometimes people they'll take it as such, but you look at it as exciting, and
Mhm.
then when you don't see that person appearing to be excited for you when something else it goes back to is usually the people you know and the people you're close to and then your family that's not going to be excited. They'll be standing there pretending to give you the little fake halfway clap. And people that don't even know you, they doing splits for you and jumping jacks and clapping and screaming and stuff. So, it's sometimes the people close to you is the one who does the most damage. And I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah, and we're told to be humble, but do you think
Yeah.
being too humble makes it easier for people to walk all over you?
Yeah,
Like,
because
mhm.
they think that you're easy target, if you're not loud and doing all this stuff and just constantly got to be in the limelight. They
Mhm.
think that you're easy target for your personality, but the best way to deal with that is just let them find out.
Yeah, like
I
if
can't say the whole what they do and find out, but
mhm.
you guys know the slogan.
Mhm.
They just have to find out, and you have to do that on an individual basis.
Yeah, so do you think that if Nipsey would have acted more like a celebrity and less like a homie, he would still be here?
That's a hard one. How can you act less than what you are? He was a
Mhm.
celebrity, and
Mhm.
my thing, and to me, why should he have to change who his accomplishments made him and who he is to make
Mhm.
someone else feel good or not feel jealous? No. He earned, anybody, when they earn their just rewards and they earn stuff, the magic word here is they earned it. It wasn't given, they
Mhm.
earned it. So you shouldn't have to change yourself to make somebody else feel better. I don't care. I'll be out there bling blinging and doing whatever
Mhm.
I want to do. You either like it, love it, or you don't. And it's not gonna make me say, "Oh my God, so and so don't like this. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and be completely different just for so and so." Come on now, how stupid is that?
Right. And Chris Donovan says, we must keep our awareness up. Many who call themselves your friends rarely ever are, sadly. Silently competing, mooching off your aura, trying
Hmm.
to destiny swap with you, traitors waiting to strike.
Hmm. That's where that slogan, keeping your enemies close, came from because that way you always know what they're up to. You'll always have part of that mindset, but a lot of times people will attach themselves to you for the wrong reasons, to find out what they can, to find out not caring nothing about you, but attach themselves, Why can't we just want to be around somebody just because we like to be around that person? That person is a fun person to be around. And
Hmm.
I always have been a person that, they doing good and they happy. That makes me happy automatically.
Hmm.
That don't make me have a frowned up face and looking like, I've been sucking on lemons or something. I'm happy for you. I'm not jealous for you. I'm happy for you.
I agree with that, and I think that's a great way to close out this
Yes.
episode.
Yes, it is a great way to close out this episode. It's been a real good episode, and touching on jealousy, you guys, it's just a matter of recognizing it, learning more about it, and seeing what you can change. You can't change that person, but you can change the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Thank you again, you guys, for being here. It's
Mhm.
time for us to get out of here, I believe.
Yep, we will see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday we will be back. Yes,
Yep.
for episode 37 coming back
Yep,
on Wednesday.
episode 37.
Oh my goodness, the episodes are moving. Thank you guys, and thank you guys for your comments. Thank you for tuning in. It's been Voices and Views with Zan and Joe. Bye.
Bye. Oh, wait, we had one more comment. This was
Okay.
a great topic. I missed the beginning.
Oh, that's
Aw.
okay. That's okay. But you won't miss the beginning. Just go back on our Facebook page on Voices and Views, and you can watch the whole thing over.
Mm-hmm.
It will be streamed. That's the good thing about our episodes. It'll be streamed over and over. So you can watch it. It's getting recorded right now.
Yep. So we'll see you Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.
Make sure you check it out.
We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight.